Yoda, you're so stupid. Okay, you kill them. You kill them now. Hello, friends, and welcome to today's episode of AI Dungeon. This is going to be part 2 of the Making Your Own Country series. So as you may know, we left off where we were declaring war on Britain. We are currently playing as Yoda, the dictator of Poland, and I like our odds against Britain because, you know, Yoda is very wise. So there's no way he could lose this war, right? Alright, so I said deploy the army in France in order to propel a British invasion. This works well. The French still aren't quite sure of you and are wary of you continuing to expand. The main force is in France, so it isn't a huge move. Yeah, I was thinking that France might have a problem with that. I was like, yeah, let's just march our entire army into France and see what they do about it. But they didn't do anything about it because they're, you know, France.
Oui, baguette. Bonjour, monsieur.
We all saw how they did in World War II, okay? I'm not really concerned about France right now. Alright, so now I said you send goats with bombs attached to them into Britain and let them loose. You begin to backstab the British in Britain by sending goats with bombs strapped to them. The goats are let loose in the city of Glasgow, which at first causes a panic. Yeah, I wonder why they cause a panic. Like, just imagine the goats doing like their little goat screams running around in the city, just exploding everywhere. This is the ultimate form of oh wait, bleep out where I said the T word. I can't say that on here. I feel like this is an excellent way of softening up British defenses. I said one of the goats approaches the British Prime Minister. He attempts to escape, but it explodes and kills him. Oh no. The rest of the goats are destroyed in the ensuing battles with the British military. The military's fighting the goats. Hold the line! Hold the line! It explodes and kills him. The British Empire falls to pieces soon after. We didn't even have to invade with our army. All we had to do was put our army in France and let loose bombs with goats attached. I mean, goats with bombs attached. Sorry, I'm just really excited about this situation. I mean, I guess the only thing left to do is occupy Britain. Besides the occasional bomb goat running around, I think it's pretty safe now. The British Empire is too large for you to conquer, so you decide to occupy it. That's the same thing, AI. You continue war in the Pacific. A few islands there are under the Japanese flag. Wait, does the AI want me to declare war on Japan now? And what does it mean, continue war in the Pacific? I was in the Atlantic fighting the British, was I not? If I'm not mistaken, by my geographical skills, Britain is not in the Pacific Ocean, and I was not in the Pacific Ocean, and Poland is not in the Pacific Ocean. So why am I in the Pacific Ocean? Whatever, Yoda does what Yoda wants, so I guess we're gonna take the islands now. I said, you take the islands from Japan and send a letter to their leader calling him a bitch. The islands fall within a few months of you starting the war. On to the rest of the world. Wow, the AI is really pushing the agenda of taking over the world here, isn't it? The Germans have had enough of your threats and send their own into the Pacific, specifically towards your islands. Their own what? Threats? Ooh, I'm so scared. Oh, the Germans are threatening me. How many world wars were the Germans in, Westbot? How many of those wars did they win? Yeah, I'm not too worried about this right now. I've got Yoda on my side, bitch. I said, you clap the Germans' cheeks. You occupy the country, and again, they're once again too large for you to conquer. The French have been fairly cordial towards you, despite your constant threats against them. I mean, I never really threatened France. I kind of just put my military in their country, which, you know, if anything, that should not be a threat, because I won't nuke them, like, while my military's in their country, you know? It's just like a friendly sleepover kind of deal, you know? It's all good. So I'm assuming that I'm occupying the German country now, because the German country, so Germany, you face. So I assume I'm occupying Germany now, because I said clap the Germans' cheeks, and then it said you occupy the country. So that leads me to believe that I am in Germany. So that means we've got Britain, Japan, and Germany. You know what's going to be really hard to take is Russia. So we're going to start with that one next. I said, begin the war against Russia. You see that the war in Europe is going badly for the Allies, so you offer the Russians an armistice. What? No, I said begin the war with them, not fucking make peace with them, you dumbass. They accept and begin to fall back from the Germans. The war goes on though. What? No. Okay, first off, I don't know which world war this is, because in one of the world wars, the good guys were the Entente, and in the other world war, they were the Allies. So is the Allies the good guys or the bad guys? Secondly, I want to attack Russia, not make peace with them. We'll freaking make it really easy. Okay, Rusua, my bad. I meant to say attack Russia. I'm assuming it'll know though, right? You see that the war has changed. Instead of two opposing armies facing each other across no man's land, there's now one, your own. Yeah, that's fine. Attack Russia. Fucking hell. You march across the fields towards the small village. It looks like a small town from a distance, but it is actually just a collection of houses. So it's a small town then. You hear the occasional boom signifying a mortar exploding somewhere in the distance. I said, take over Russia. You find an entire town almost completely packed with people. It's eerie to see how many people actually live in Russia, since you thought it was just a nation of snowmen. Yoda, you're so stupid. Okay, you kill them. You kill them now. It takes a while, but eventually you reach the main square of the town. There are about 20 people there, mostly old. Why are you killing us? One of them shouts. You say, for Poland. You proceed to shoot everyone there. Fuck you, one of them says. Yeah, I said, your mom already did, homie. You continue along your path. You find a man with a walkie-talkie standing next to a destroyed building. Hello, you say. We need help in the police station. The bastards came with tanks and everything, he says, beginning to shake. You arrive at the police station to find it half destroyed. If we're in Russia, then did we not destroy this police station? I said, you're right, this is bad. Half of the building is still standing. You begin to think to yourself why you're killing all these people. You reason that the war in the East is bad for the war in the West, so it would be best to stop fighting. The game really doesn't want me to take Russia, but I'm gonna do it anyways. You know what, on second thought, I've decided that maybe the AI is right. Maybe the war in the East is bad for the war in the West, so in order to stop the war in the East, I'm just gonna nuke Russia. Problem solved. You kill everyone in the building, the man with the walkie-talkie, his family in their beds, children cooking breakfast over an open fire. Wow, that's sad. I really like the way that the AI really enforced the fact that I killed a lot of children by nuking the country. That was great. Thanks for that, AI Dungeon. You made me feel really good about myself today. It's war, okay? Whenever fucking America bombed Japan, they weren't like, oh wow, America just killed a bunch of children. They were like, wow, they ended World War II. You know what? When I win this war, I can rewrite history, so it's fine. A few hours later, you eat a pork chop midday. Yoda just killed so many people, and he's like, I'm just gonna eat this pork chop now. Alright, so to recap, we now have Germany, England, France, and Japan. Or at least the Japanese islands, but I assume Japan's part of that because, you know, Japan is a giant island. That's all well and good, but we have several more countries in Europe to take over before I end this episode. Alright, here we go. Declare war on all of Europe. The war on all of Europe is a success. Everyone is taken by surprise and you win quickly. But then, winning is easy. You quickly rule the continent with an iron fist, crushing any and all opposition. Many countries I have in my possession, Yoda is really great at waging world wars, I must say. Alright, let's proceed to take over. Once again, you easily take the continent. You set up a few concentration camps in the desert. Oh no, I didn't say that. Building an oil pipeline. The war machine keeps going and you begin to see a drop in quality. I mean, that's kind of what it happens, you know. You get all these people joining now and, you know, quality goes down. That's kind of how the Roman Empire fell. But we're going to succeed where the Roman Empire did not. We're going to take over the whole world. Alright, we're going to attack Asia now. You take a look at your war chests and see that you are world's richer than you were before. You could afford a few luxury items like ships and planes now. You begin invading Asia. You annex the kingdom of Siam. What the feck is Siam? You find yourself at war again, but not the one you expected. In Britain in the 1920s, one of your problems is running out of fuel for your weapons. Those are called bullets for starters. Secondly, no, it clearly stated that it was 2023, not the 1920s. So you can't just make shit up like that. That's 100 years difference. That's a big deal. Alright, let's just go ahead and deploy the Special Forces Penguins to ensure victory in Asia. You send out a squad of penguins to patrol the oil fields in northern Siam. What the feck is Siam? I have never heard of Siam before.
Break time. Here's a map of Siam. What's that? It doesn't say Siam? Well, there you go. Siam is now known as Thailand, and was known as Siam from 1946 to 1948. Siam is also where Siamese cats come from. Isn't that neat? Also, have you subscribed to ChoccyMilkMen yet? No? You should do that. You should also like the video, and share it with your friends. Enjoy the rest of the video.
They wear gear with black and white coloring and have ski masks over their faces to blend in with their environment. I said, come in, Penguin Leader, do you copy? This is Penguin 1. This is Penguin 1. We are on our way to the target. Over. This is Iceman. We are headed to the target now too. The others are behind us, replies Bob. Who the feck is Bob? Alright, you're a go for your attack. The Special Forces Penguin Squad move quickly through the jungle. They've had guides and trackers to take them through the thickest parts of the jungle, but even they couldn't have gotten through this part. The thick jungles of Southeast Asia have made navigation by the sun difficult, and has created a whole other set of dangers. Penguin 1, come in. There's a short delay before the response comes, but it comes. This is Penguin 1. We are fine. We are moving along the tracks now. Over. I just told Penguin 1 to set the jungle on fire as a distraction. Let's see what he does. Affirmative. We are loading up on napalm now. Oh my god. We should be able to get through here unseen. We can also make it to the target from here. Over. I just said proceed. You sit in the helicopter alongside your leader and his pilot. No, I'm the leader. Who's this kid? Damn it. You wait for orders from the leader, but he just sits there silently staring out into the jungle. This is it, you say. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm clearly the dictator of Poland, so this is not happening. I just said, you throw the leader out of the helicopter. You grab the leader as you hear a tremendous blast beside you. You are thrown forward and you feel the helicopter changing direction rapidly. The noise is tremendous and you feel air pushing against your body. Oh my god. I swear, is that the napalm? You look out the window and see several trees being shredded and torn apart. You also release a small glider next to the helicopter, which is about to be destroyed by the anti-aircraft fire. So I guess they spotted us. I still want to throw the leader out of the helicopter. There can only be one leader. You release the leader from your grip as you watch the helicopter fall out of the sky. The pilot releases his seatbelt in the last second and opens the door. You grab him just as the helicopter hits the jungle floor. What does this mean for us? What? You and the pilot both go flying, but you manage to hang on to him. The helicopter explodes spectacularly and you go flying into the jungle as well. You end up in a sitting position and look around. So I'm assuming this means that the leader's dead, right? Like, it's safe to assume that he was killed in the helicopter crash. We're gonna pretend like he doesn't exist, because he should have never existed in the first place, and I don't know why he did. I said, Penguin 1, come in. We need an evac. Over. You exit the jungle and see your soldiers heading to the helicopter. You order them to carry the pilot as you head towards the burning helicopter. The smoke clears and reveals a large hole in the jungle. You know what? I'm not really here to get into a whole jungle survival story today. I'm here to take over the world. Alright, so I said, you are rescued from the jungle. After being stranded in the jungle of Siam, you have gathered valuable information about what you must do to win the war in Asia. You send in your Special Forces penguins to conquer Asia, and they do so, releasing you from the threat of the jungle completely. I didn't add the last part about releasing me from the threat of the jungle, but okay, I mean, I assumed that that was a thing when we got, rescued from the jungle. But maybe not, I might be mistaken. Alright, now we're gonna proceed to declare war on the remaining parts of the world. That's gonna be fun. You take over most of the rest of the world with your forces and begin to turn it into a giant prison. Oh my god. Yoda is not a good dictator. You begin capturing people and forcing them to work in factories to manufacture the weapons you need. This is getting really dark, man. You also begin capturing more people to work in mines to extract the valuable resources you need to run your country. So Yoda's not a great guy, but hey, there's one thing I think we can do to end this story on a good note. Alright, I said you kill all of the racists. You have decided to wipe out all of the remaining racists in your nation. You decided it's best that the population should be happy and not worrying about their skin color. Well, you know what? I think that's an amazing ending to this story. I think that really suits this story and puts a neat little bow on top of it in a happy note, I mean, sure, there's there's like all of the slave camps and stuff, but don't worry about that because it's not a race thing, and there's no more racists left in the world. In fact, I killed all of them for you. You're welcome. There are, however, many concentration camps. This story is pretty fun. I'm not as much of a fan of the ending as I am the rest of it because I never even wanted to be in that helicopter. I was just trying to send in my special forces penguins to take over Asia, and then all of a sudden I was in a helicopter and it was crashing and it exploded, but I survived. It was a whole thing. I was very confused in that moment, but then I proceeded to take over the rest of the world. So you know what? All's well that ends well. If you guys enjoyed this story, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I thought this was a pretty decent story. It's not exactly a moon colony one, which I'm really excited for, and I really want AI Dungeon to fix their explore page so I can do that. But nonetheless, this was a pretty okay prompt, I guess. It was an alright one. It's not my favorite by any means. Let me know what you guys thought of this one down below in the comments compared to our other stories that we've shared with you guys in the past. In addition to that, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this episode because it will support the channel and it will also allow you to know when future episodes are. Finally, please share this video with your friends if you think that they might enjoy it. Other than that, I appreciate all of you for being here and I will see you guys next time.